Namaste, fellow yogis. Welcome to the core breath. And let's call it a little bit of a strengthening of the shoulder kind of day. Welcome. Today's been one of those days I'm like, do I do hips again? Do I do shoulders? What do I do? And I had to literally sit in a meditation and go, shoulders. Took me a while, but shoulders came up. Shoulders are really important. A lot of us aren't communicating exactly how we feel inside our gut and our mind's eye and our heart center. So we're biting the tongue and there's a lot of resentment. There's a lot of anger. So a lot of this energy is like stuck up here, like, ah, I understand. So what we want to do is to move our feelings, and that's why yoga is so important, with breath. So when we get in tune with how we're feeling, instead of gripping those feelings, we dance those feelings through the body and giving them permission to release. So when we move our bodies in the mindful exercise practices of yoga, mindful breathing, mindfulness, and of course the eccentric, concentric movement of the muscles. Remember, it's not a stretch. Even though everyone thinks yoga is stretching, we're not rubber bands. At least I don't think I'm a rubber band. Gumby and Pokey are more rubbery than any of us would ever be, okay? So you guys remember them? Giving away my age. So let's take a deep breath in first of all. Let it go. Feel that? Get comfortable on your mat. Let's do that again. When you're comfy, now take your hands to your ribs, lowest ribs, the belly area. There. When we breathe just in our upper lobes of the lungs, stress, anxiety, fear, this gets so tanked, meaning jacked up, meaning contracted. So today's practice, we will explore the shoulders and the neck, yet moving the breath down mindfully into the gut area so that we can disperse the feelings, the tensions that we're feeling with mindful breath practice, okay? So let's begin cross-leg first. Suit up your hips as you need in order for this cross-leg seated position to be more optimal for you. Okay, so once you're in that, let's take the arms as fully as we can and then turn the palms up. Turn your thumbs back so that the anterior shoulders open and the chest muscles open in their full length. Take your thumbs further back so there's a fuller length in your chest muscles and your anterior shoulders, and your back muscles contract. Turn your palms up. Good. Knit the belly button in and sit up as tall as you can as you lengthen your neck. Hold those hands, spreading your fingers like you're wearing catcher's mitt gloves and you're catching a softball. For 5, stretch out your elbows. For 4, you can look towards your shoulders. For 3, that gets into your neck. For 2, and then release your arms and notice how that feels. Okay, so now the next practice is find your blocks, and a lot of you may just have the rubber blocks. Lucky you, because they're a lot lighter. Hold the palms up like you're holding your blocks like soup bowls. You could switch out your shins so that you can navigate your pelvis equally. Once again, now reach your arms out just below the shoulders so they're not up here and in your neck, grimacing funny faces. Take your shoulders, your arms down, and extend your elbows. Hold those blocks, thumbs turned back so the palms are facing up. For 5, lift your chest, knit in the belly, sit strong through the sitting bones. For 4, lengthen your neck, smile and breathe. For 3, straighten out your elbows. For 2, and then very mindfully bring your blocks back down onto the mat. Now feel the anterior shoulders. Lovely, isn't it? Good. Now, if you happen to have a strap, that's really important. That's awesome. If you don't, pause, go get something like a house coat belt or a belt or a tie. Karate belts, that's what I use. Or your yoga strap. So now, once you come back, take a deep breath in. Strap, find the middle. Take your index finger, your middle finger like scissors, hold the strap with both hands as wide as your shoulder. Once you hold the strap like that, palms down, Wrap your middle finger and make a fist. Pull it taut, then reach the arms up over your head. Sink your shoulders down in towards the spine, towards the shoulder blades, towards the spine, and only go as high as you feel that your neck is free. Then give yourself some strap, pull it taut. Then see if you can elevate your arms directly over the crown of the head, but your ears, your ponytails are free to move around. Pull the strap taut. So I'm not like this, down like this. Knit the belly button in, pull it as taut as you can, like you're isometrically playing a tug of war with your own self. Good, now give yourself a little bit more strap, go further back. Elbows stay straight, so do your wrist. Shoulders are down the spine. Pull it back, make it taut, so you're pushing through your knuckles. Good, for 5. Knit the belly button in for 4. You're smiling and breathing for 3, 2, and then give yourself some more girth. Take the strap about 45-degree angles behind you. Shoulders are down and back. Belly's knit in. Pull it taut for 5, for 4, for 3. Wrists are straight. 2. Good, and maybe you could go all the way back directly behind your shoulders, but pull the strap taut as wide as you need to have that strap. So you're pressing your knuckles to the outer walls. You're knitting the belly button in, your heart is lifted for 5, for 4. You might have ran out of strap for 3, 2, and then release and let your arms go. Lovely. So if you don't have a yoga strap or karate belt, please go find one at a reuse store. Trust me, you'll find one. Okay, now let's take those shoulders into what I call it is do not stop. So now we come into tabletop. So make sure your hands are as wide as your yoga mat. You can see it in the bird's eye view. That my pinky fingers off the mat. If you do not like your shoulders over the wrist because your wrists do not do full extension, then walk your knees and your shoulders further back. So you're less at a 90-degree, more like a 120. So press your hands profusely, I don't know why I use that word, into the mat. So through the base knuckles, finger pads push down. So your hands, palms are like suction cups. You're drawing the floor into the back of your shoulders. At the same time, you're pressing the floor, your arms into the floor. So there's isometrics going on there. Knit the belly button and look directly between your thumbs and then hover the knees up off the mat for 5. For 4, press the floor away for 3, for 2, and then lower the knees down. Sit on your toes, shake off your wrists. We're going to hold it longer. This is for recovery. So for those who need to take a break, take a break. Take a deep breath in, let that breath go, come back into your tabletop, accommodating your wrists. When you're ready, elevate the knees for 5, for 4. Actually, no, did I say 10? Yeah, 10. Press the floor away. Elbow creases face your index finger and thumbs. Everybody knows I don't really count. It's not about counting. It's pressing the floor away, noticing how you feel for about 5 more. 4. Keep your neck neutral. Knit the belly button in 3, 2, and then lower the knees. Sit back on your shins, not on your toes this time. Shake out your wrists. So really isometrically working your hands. We're strengthening the humeral bone and all the muscles that support that humeral bone moving around. Okay, let's do another tabletop. Let's see if we can go, a little longer this time, and don't worry about counting. But when you're ready, hover those knees, keep your neck neutral, knit in the belly so you're in a tabletop shape, but your knees are lifted. Look straight at that floor. Let's start 10, 9. Your elbow creases are facing your index finger and thumb. 8, 7. Yep, 6, your quads might burn. They will, that's your front of your thighs. 3, 2, and then lower the knees and sit back on your shins. Good, so feel that energy of your arms. Fantastic. Now let's go back into your tabletop. Take a deep breath in, a letting go breath out. And this time, walk your knees a little further back. Pivot on your right knee, take your right toes off the mat so your right foot's like a kickstand. Extend the left leg fully in line with knee. And then open up your heart. Now press the floor away with your right hand, but externally rotate your upper right arm by looking at your elbow crease and seeing that it faces the index finger and thumb. And when you're ready, you're going to lift that left leg and play. So you're feeling that you have the strength, you're building your strength into this right arm to hold body weight with the support of your right knee. Now land your left foot, the inner edge of your left foot, karate chop with it. Now we're going to hover our right knee. So you feel the strength here now. So you're pressing the floor away. Your elbow crease is still facing your index finger and your thumb. And maybe you could pick up that right knee as you press into the inner edge of your left foot for 5, for 4, or put your knee down for 3, for 2, and then put your knee down. Let's come off that right wrist, rotate your ankle, the other ankle, the hand. So do you see what I'm getting at? Practicing knowing yourself. What are the feelings? Let them flow through you. The breath is taking the feeling and moving the energy so it's not stuck. Now let's do the other side. So tabletop, your wrists will get sore if you're a beginner. Remember to take breaks. When we begin, it often takes a lot of energy. You know that, so slow it down. Now pivot on the left knee, left toes off the mat, right leg goes fully straight, karate chop the inner edge of your right foot, externally rotate both arms, press the floor away, the elbow crease faces the index finger and thumb, and then you can lift this right leg and play with it. So again, our focus is in the shoulder of the external rotation, so the shoulder blades come towards each other on the spine. You're feeling that energy. You could pause and release that right foot, inner edge of the right foot. Drishte, so whether you're looking straight in front of your body, or I prefer to look down at my hand to keep my alignment. Then you're going to hover that left knee as you continue to press the floor away. Some of you may feel comfortable picking up that foot as you secure the inner edge of your right foot and press the floor away with that left hand. Maybe your knee stays down still. It's up to you for 4, for 3. I know it's a longer one, for 2. And then slowly lower yourself down and come off your wrists. Yay! So we're strengthening right from the peripheral finger pads all the way into the core of your hand, the palm, into the humeral bone and all the muscles surrounding the sits muscles, anterior muscles, lat muscles, lots of muscles. Okay, now let's change the range of motion and come on to our forearms. Okay, so take your yoga block between your index finger and thumb, just like this, like a frame. Hello, frame. Land it down on the mat. Make sure your index finger and thumb are on the mat. Walk your knees back behind your hips and then land your elbows down. Hardest thing for most human beings right now is to get your wrists down, meaning your index finger and thumb. That's where the strength is in your hands. If they're peeling up off the mat, I see a lot of people with the index finger and thumbs peeling up off the mat. These two, they go down. That secures the strength of your shoulders. If they're constantly rolling off the mat, then yes, there's rotator cuff issues. So this is the physiotherapy. I'm not a physiotherapist, but mind you, I know a heck of a lot. So from here, with that index finger and thumb down, your knees are behind your hips. You're going to hover your knees as you cup that block and press the floor away. Now bring your shoulders over your wrists, lift your hips up higher. Walk your toes in, bend your knees, lift your heels, and keep your index finger and thumb down. You can lift and spread your finger pads for a moment, then suction cup the floor, and we're just gonna move back and forth. So now we're really triggering. Some of you might feel triggers in your anterior shoulders if you've had frozen shoulder, old scar tissue. So I'm bending and extending at my elbows and my shoulders. So exhale, forward might work for you, and inhale back. You decide what you need to do. A couple more. Keep those base knuckles of your index fingers down. 2 more. Whichever way you feel like breathing, and then slowly lower your shins to the mat. Roll your shoulders back and go, oh boy. So that is a dolphin prep. It's also great for Chaturanga to really activate the back muscles and to bring range of motion back into the anterior shoulders. Remember, muscles are not rubber bands. They're like this. This is the full length of your anterior shoulder, and this is when it contracts. It will shorten, and then it fully lengthens. If you go past that, you've torn the tendon. Then you get into joints and ligaments, and that's not good. Okay, so let's bring the forearms back down again. Really work on the suction cup of your hands. For some of you, that's where you're staying, and that's absolutely perfect. If you prefer to stay here and keep that, that's awesome. Let's hover the knees and move back and forth through flexion extension. Notice how my bum's blossoming. My knees are bent and my heels are lifted. So there's more agility in my body to accommodate this flexion extension of my shoulders. Use your breath. So you can in breath forward and out breath back. You decide what you need to do. 5 more. This time look straight at your block. Yeah, look straight at your block. Slow it down. I'm going to slow mine down a little bit more. Yay. Oh, more deliberate. Press into the base knuckle of your index finger for 1 more. Good, and then lower your knees to the mat, shins to the mat, and come up off your forearms. Thank you, that was awesome. Roll your shoulders, because we're gonna do 1 more of those. So when you practice, it's a discipline. You get into it, okay? Exhale, it's okay. You've got this. 1 more time. So again, the suction cup, base knuckle, index finger, most important place in your hand and to root in any postural stance. So even if my hands are floating in the air, I'm still pretending I'm grabbing like a lobster claw, my index finger and thumb together. Once again, frame, suction cup the palms, base knuckles. If you have any questions about it, email me. I love to have conversations with people. Sometimes it takes a lot of noodling in your head to figure that one out. Elbows are no wider than your shoulders. Once you're ready, lift those hips and you decide how you wish to arrange your flexion extension. It's up to you. I love doing this. Even though sometimes my shoulders are really tired and sore, I only go as far as I need to, and then you pause and take a break. I'm going to do a couple more. Oh yeah. Feel that energy. Bum is blossoming. Hello, bird's eye view. And then slowly release your knees to the mat. Roll your shoulders, voila. So because the shoulders are so free to be them, because they're not a ball and socket, there's a lot of muscles. So what I'd like to do is do one for contracting the back. This is going to require that you do have a yoga strap, because most of you, even the most flexible people, I'll be honest with you, you're not really flexible in your shoulders. Your elbows are more flexible, and unfortunately, they're actually hypermobile. So take your yoga strap, put it at the side of your hip, because now you're going to come into a prone position, and you can mindfully move through a chaturanga to do that. Plant or flex your feet, look straight at the mat so that your face is hovering up. Again, you take that index finger, middle finger to the strap behind you, and you could go as wide as you need. You could drape it along your hips to scoop it up so the palms are facing the ceiling. Then bring your hands as close as you feel comfortable together with your neck neutral, feet pressing down. Fist the strap so it's running between your index finger and thumb. And then straighten your arms to your best ability and hug the shoulder blades together. Got it? Lengthen the neck forward, pressing into your feet, and contract your quads so your knees actually hover off the floor with your feet down. Then from there, start to elevate your knuckles towards the ceiling and towards your heels. So you're pulling the strap really taut, okay? So lengthening through the crown of the head, keeping your feet down, your knees are hovering because your legs are so contracted. And you're elevating your knuckles away from your bum and towards your heels for 5, for 4, for 3, 2, and then release the strap. Stack your hands underneath your forehead, bend your knees, windshield wipe. Okay, so even though you may be flexible, I'm inviting everyone to pull on a strap because we're working the isometrics of this, okay? I could do this all day. Okay, arms back behind you, palms are up. You still have that strap draped around your bum. Palms up, scissor fingers, make knuckles, bring your hands closer together actually. Plant or flex your feet, squeeze your inner thighs back and apart. Press your pubis down, contract your quads. Now lift the front of your shoulders, reach your arms up away from your bum side, pull the strap taut, lengthen your neck. Oh, lots of cueing, eh? And then rise up. It's like flying an airplane because you are the airplane. So as you come up, there's tension in the back body. That's what we want. A good tension, like mindful tension. So you're pulling your strap as taut as you can up and towards your heels for 5, for 4, for 3, 2, and then surrender. Breathe. trust me, after 20 minutes or, the 45-minute practice, you start to slow down and really pay closer attention to what I'm cueing. You will have an injury-free practice. If you keep on coming out of a practice with injuries, that means you're undoing, working, and paradigm shifting and really paying attention to yourself not paying attention to yourself because you're still injuring yourself, and or you've got some practice to do. Some waking up, meaning really paying attention to your needs. Let's do that one more time. And that's not a judgment, that's an observation. Okay? Ask questions, educate. You've got this. When you have your stance, make sure you get into these cues: feet, quads, neck, tone belly, elevation. Smile and breathe for 5. Pull that strap taut for 4. For 3, keep that neck nice and long. For 2, yay, and then release. Let's finalize this practice. Take your left arm out, your right arm perpendicular to the shoulder joint, straight out below the shoulder, left arm at a right angle, bend your knees, slide into the shoulder. So we're lengthening via holding a posture that's not so much core and strength. It's more like a lengthening passively. I know it doesn't feel passive, does it? Bend your left knee up, bend your left elbow in front of you, and then take your right leg further back and then let your left foot land and spoon your right foot. Now reach, if it's in your practice, moving your neck and reach the left arm up. So here we're using the lengthening of the muscle by passively leaning into it. So we're not using contraction, like muscle up, okay? It's more of like a restorative opening, lengthening of the muscle. Remember, there's no stretching. We're going to start taking that out of our vocabulary when it comes to yoga. New paradigm shifts. Let's do the other side. So the left arm goes right out perpendicular to the shoulder joint, below the shoulder, right arm at a right angle, leaning into that anterior left shoulder. Bend your left leg towards your bottom. Take your right leg up, right hand presses into the floor. Move your face around. If this is too much of an extension of the anterior shoulder, then you can lean more forward so that you're not opening up that anterior shoulder so much. And especially if you've had augmentations and scar tissue in your breast area, I understand. I work with lots of people with scar tissue, so pay attention to your needs. Maybe your right arm comes up. Maybe your neck moves around. Remember, this is not a competition. Just because I'm doing it doesn't mean you need to do it. Feel what you need to do for yourself for 5, 4, 3, 2, and then celebrate coming onto your tummy with a nice smile. And I know I've gone over the 20-minute mark. I'm just getting a little carried away here. But breathe your breath, like literally breathe your breath cognizantly, consciously. Land your feet, curl your toes, hands in Chaturanga, the remainder of the shoulder exercise practicing today. Lift the front of your shoulders, think push up. Keep your neck neutral, looking at the mat. Hands, knees, and toes. Press up. Press back into a child's pose. Full flexion of the arms. Sink your hips back. Smile at yourself. Love yourself. Say thank you. Thank you for being you. Thank you for acknowledging the self. Know thyself. Couple more breaths here. No need to hurry. And then when you're ready to set and reset yourself into your cross-legged seated position, let us come together in the union of yoking all that we've just worked on, the core, breath, and strength of our being. May you continue to practice, educate, ask questions, investigate, and remember the most important piece is, of course, your attitude, which is the breath, how you breathe, slowing things down and allowing your feelings to flow. Allowing the tension, which are emotional feelings stored in your body, to flow. Change your thoughts, your attitude, to flowing your feelings. From my light to your light, yoga is the option we all have, and today's a great day to say, I love you, shoulders. Love you, shoulders. Let us end the practice with Om Shanti Shanti. Take a deep breath in. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. May you feel that peace, and may you be at peace with your shoulders. Any questions, email me. And remember, scar tissue, range of motion, and flexibility all depend on you educating yourself, know your limits, play within them, and educate yourself continuously, disciplining in the yoga practice every day. Yeah, you got to do the work. That's the truth. Love the work that you do. Namaste, everybody. Maybe join me in the Restore and Breath practice. It's a good one, just totally relaxing in Shavasana. I'll see you there. Namaste.